Welcome to a little bit of Calm and Crazy. My name is Jennifer, and today I have some crazy easy Dollar Tree DIYs to share with you. Whether you have been crafting for years or you are brand spanking new at this, I have something for everybody. If you like what you see here today, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Now let's get into it. For this project, I'm actually doing a trio of trees, but I want to beef up the trees, so I'm combining two together. So I actually have 6 trees, and I'm using 3 of the red and white tins. I have no need for the little bottom footing from those trees, so I'm just pushing those to the side and then fluffing up the trees. I'm fluffing them up all to one side of the tree, so it's going to be flat on one side and then fluffed up to the other, and I do that to both of the trees. Once I had both of those trees fluffed up, now I'm lining them up. You see that I'm slightly staggering them so that one tree is right below the other using the trunk of the tree, and then I'm using just one zip tie in order to attach them just right at those bottom branches, so those bottom branches will hide that zip tie. Now Dollar Tree also sells black zip ties, and that will hide a little bit better than the clear zip tie if you want to go with that, but I wanted to make sure that you could see exactly what I was doing. Trim the zip tie as close as you can so that you can hide it as easily as possible, and then with those 2 really tall pieces at the top, you're just going to take them and twist them around each other a couple of times at the bottom, and that will be another area in which the trees are secured together. To secure the tree in the red and white tin, I'm using a little piece of pool noodle. Now Dollar Tree got smart and they realized that we use pool noodles more than just in the swimming pool, and so now they actually carry them for the different holidays, and they do have some red, green, and white ones for Christmas. To secure that foam noodle so it wouldn't be all Willy Wonka inside of that red and white tin, I'm just using a couple of plastic bags. I seem to always have a few Dollar Tree plastic bags on hand, so why not put them to good use? You could also hot glue the foam noodle down to the red and white tin. Now, I will tell you that you can also use floral foam if you want to, but using the pool noodle is a little less messy, and you will find that the stem of the tree fits perfect in that hole. Once the tree was secure in place, I went ahead and I fluffed up the branches and made it look a lot more full and a little less Charlie Brown. I'm using this glitter drape tissue. It's basically a really thin felt in order to cover up the trunk of the tree, the pool noodle, and the bags. And all I'm doing is cutting some strips of it. I unfolded it and then I'm cutting it into strips. And with each strip, I will unfold that, fold it in half, and then wrap it around the trunk of the tree and kind of just tuck it into the tin can until I get it positioned the way that I want it so that it looks a little bit like snow. Of course, you could stop and leave it right here, but I wanted to take it one step further, and I found these vinyl decals at Target in their bullseye dollar spot. And I could not resist. I thought that was such a good deal. I love the ho ho ho. But you could also use some Dollar Tree stickers, or if you have a electric die cutting machine, you could cut out your own vinyl. So to start off with, I'm going to go ahead and weed this, which simply just means that you're getting rid of the parts you don't need. So that's the backing and the center part of the O's. Then I'm going to cut the ho-ho-hos apart because one hoe is going to go on each tin. After that, I'm using Dollar Tree's contact paper in order to help me apply these onto the tins. I take a small piece of that contact paper and I lay it out on top of that hoe, and then I'm just rubbing it to make sure that it is sticking onto that contact paper. And you can use like a little scraper, a credit card, anything like that that has a flat edge. I like to rub it on the front and the back, and then I like to peel it upside down to make sure that it peels onto and sticks to that contact paper. What's great about using the contact paper is I'm making sure that my H and my O are lined up with each other. If I were to just go stick them separately, more than likely they wouldn't, because I'm not very good at making sure that things are even. Using the contact paper just ensures better and easier success. The last thing I did was add a bow using some ribbon from my stash, and there you have it, some super easy and simple Christmas trees. For this project, you're going to grab a gift bag, just something that you love. I love how these two coordinate together. I am also using the 8x10 photo mat and an 11x14 black frame. You are simply going to just cut the front of the gift bag out. Now you can go in with a pair of scissors, but the easiest way actually is to use a craft knife and a ruler because it is simple and quick. Now don't forget, cut that little plastic tab off the top. You won't be using that anymore. And don't forget about the back of the bag. It can absolutely be used. Just iron out that little crease and you got yourself a second photo. Now the mat is what makes this look really high end. I love these little photo mats that you can pick up at the Dollar Tree. So grab your photo mat and then you're going to place it where you want it. You'll notice that I am actually not centering it exactly. I'm lining up where I want it with a Happy Holidays over on the top corner, and then I'm using some washi tape in order to hold that in place. I do take some of the sticky off, just placing it on my hand a couple of times before I place it down onto the mat. And then that keeps it in place, and then I flip it over and I'm using just some painter's tape in order to hold it. I'm just placing a little bit on all four sides, and then I can place everything back into the frame. Now I don't want to glare, so I'm actually putting the photo in first, then the glass, and then the backing. But if you want to reverse that and do glass, photo, backing, absolutely, that would work as well. I do the same thing with the other photo, and here you have two beautiful high-end prints that only cost $3 each. For this project, I'm using one of these little picture holders with the clothespins from Dollar Tree, as well as some scrapbook paper. Now, what's great about this is that all you have to do is open up the back, and it opens up super simply by just turning those little tabs on the back. And then the clothespins are just on the twine and it slides right off. And the paper is not even attached. You can just pull it straight off and then cut your own paper to fit, and then place that down. I'm not attaching the paper either. That way I can replace it throughout the year. And I made sure that it fit, and then I just slid that twine and those clothespins right back on, holding that paper in place as I did so. And then I placed it right back into that little frame, closed it up. Now you can leave it here and attach a photo if you want to, but I decided I wanted to create a little chalkboard to go on it. Using my utility knife and one of those little pieces of wood planks that you get from Dollar Tree, they come 6 in a pack, such a fantastic deal. I just went ahead and trimmed off 2 inches of it. It was a little bit longer than what I wanted. After I cut that down, I then sanded the rough edge and then sanded the corners so that I could round them out ever so slightly. In order to get the color of paint that I wanted so that it would match the frame, I took Waverly's chalk paint in Ocean and a little bit of Waverly's chalk paint in Ink and mixed the two together to get a beautiful dark navy. I absolutely love that. I love mixing paint together. That way I don't feel limited just to the paint that I see on the shelf. Look how perfect those two colors came together to match this frame. Before I write on it, I'm going to go ahead and season it. That simply just means you're going to take the chalk, turn it on its side, and then rub all over it, and then wipe that off. That keeps you from getting like halo effects when you go in and write. You can then do a countdown to Christmas, write little phrases, just have some fun with it. I know my kids will. So I'm curious if you would use this to hold a photo, or would you create a chalkboard? Let me know that in the comments. For this project, I am using candle holders. I have 2 of the frosted candle holders and 2 of these candlestick holders in 2 different heights. I took the tall, skinny candle holders out to my spray tent and gave them a good coat of some white spray paint. Once they were completely dried, I brought them in, and using some E6000, I attached the 2 candle holders together by taking the E6000 around the lip of the tall candle holder and then placing the frosted candle holder on top, and then I let it just set up and cure. It does say it takes about 8 hours for it to completely cure, so you just want to leave it alone. I normally leave it alone overnight. I'm taking some wired greenery and just circling it around and putting it at the bottom of the candle holder in order to rest the battery operated tea light candles that I picked up at Dollar Tree. And then I'm taking just one pick, I'm tearing it apart and placing it or dividing it up between the 2 different candle holders and just arranging it however I want. I think this makes a beautiful centerpiece. I love how the light reflects on the inside, but I also will love how the Christmas lights will reflect through the glass. Such an elegant statement. Definitely such a simple and easy idea. But if you want to see some more simple and easy ideas, make sure that you check out these videos. Thank you so much for stopping by today and spending your time with me, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!